things are just evolving and you have to evolve with it, right?
That's a real point. One of the biggest things that pissed me off about, back to what you just said, when I was screaming about TikTok 5 years ago, the reason most people didn't do it was one of two reasons: perception and insecurity. Number one was perception. People thought it was teenage girls dancing on it, but they hadn't learned, as if we didn't just live through Instagram being photographers to being what it was, or Facebook being for college kids and now being for grandmas. They couldn't see the chess move of like, yeah, it's 14-year-old girls dancing now, but it's gonna be for everyone. So their perception. Number two was worse, insecurity. They had their 8,000 followers on Instagram, and they didn't want to go to TikTok and start over.
It would have been the best move they've ever made.
I know. That's why I get a fucking 1,000 fucking emails a year from people who literally started their career on TikTok literally because of how loud I was during that time. And I get 1,000 other emails from people saying, literally titled in my inbox, "Wish I listened to you," because they're not doing shit right now on Instagram because it's harder. And they're nowhere on TikTok.
I literally joined because of you, TikTok. Literally.
And?
I mean, I got a bunch of followers really fast.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I post when I
TikTok
post,
grows
like you
fast.
say. I just,
You do your thing.
I post,
It's the fear, right? People are so afraid.
People are
and they're
afraid
in
of
their
judgment.
head. Yeah.
Of judgment.
Yeah.
They had
care too much about
11,000 putting
Yeah.
up their pecs or showing their ass or whatever, or flossing on Instagram. They had 11,000, but they didn't want to go to TikTok and start at zero because they were worried what people would think. Most of those people weren't scared of the work. There's a whole group we just talked about that are scared of the work. Those people have no shot. But the part that drives me crazy is the second group that put in the work somewhere. This is why I jumped in, because you just said it. But shit evolves. I built on fucking Twitter and then YouTube. Like, I didn't want Instagram to come out. I was winning.
right.
But Instagram came out, I had to figure it out. I didn't want TikTok to happen. I was winning. I don't want anything to come out. I'm winning, but shit will come out. And if you don't go where it goes, you're dead.
Left
Yeah.
behind.
So go ahead. So
And
it's
that
evolved-
takes time sometimes mentally to acclimate and
course.
recalibrate, right? Like if you feel like you're on top in one space and then you feel, and then I think it's what you were saying earlier too. A lot of people are now just doing what other people are doing and hopping on trends. And how do you stand out and how do you make yourself different and how do you feel different? It's because of you. Like no one's me.
That's
So
right.
nobody's going to do what I'm doing the way I'm doing
That's
it.
exactly right.
And I think, you know, honestly, I sort of forgot that last year a little bit.
Interesting.
And I have done 3 shows with NBC, TV shows, cooking shows.
Oh, wow.
Had a really good time with that. And TV is always my North Star and what I want to continue to do. And
Do you have a pit in your stomach that TV's evolving in a way that's not the way we all grew up and it's a different medium than it used to be?
it's interesting because the way I started out was sort of weird because I was bridging both traditional broadcast media and also social media, which was not really done before. Like the Today Show producers had never put like a social media person on air. That was weird and crazy. I was 22 at the time. Like that was not heard of. But now I think for a second, yes. But at the same time, like, what do? I can make my own show now. I don't need to rely
That's exactly
on a
where I'm
network.
going.
Yeah.
Being on a television show is less awareness than doing social media.
Correct.
For sure.
You're smaller.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the amount of eyes
They're
you can get
smaller.
on your
You're
content.
smaller.
Yeah.
Like you're a famous actor on Netflix even.
Yeah.
And like you're not bigger than the biggest celebrities on TikTok. That's
Yeah.
just the way it is now.
Yeah.
It's what we went through when radio went to television. Radio stars were fucking everything.
Yeah.
They were everything. And TV stars came and they were like, yo, that's why we know who Bob Hope and Lucille Ball are, because they were that first group of TV stars, and that was a whole new paradigm shift. People love me, like Hollywood loves to make fun of these social media people, and especially because I've been in it from day one. They're not making fun anymore.
Right.
They want that.
It's required.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're in a funny place where like what you started led to what you thought you wanted, and now where the attention is for what you want to talk about actually lives where you started.
Exactly.
I'm aware.
And that is what I was grappling with last year because I've
Makes
done these
sense.
shows with NBC, and then I was sort of like, okay, now what?
Especially when you see somebody make 15 TikToks and have more actual awareness than you.
Yeah, and
That's real life.
100%. And it's funny because I think that I've had more eyes on my content that than could be technically on a show at a given time, right? Like
No,
my
that's
on my
not,
Instagram.
that's not a theory. That's facts.
No, it's facts. So right, but it's like you have to just, yeah, I guess.
I have 2 new books coming out, a kid's book and my new business book, which is the follow-up to Jab, 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 Right Hook. I'm talking to all the PR people right now, my people, the HarperCollins people, and they're all talking about the launch, and they're like, we need you to do this, we need you to do that. I'm like, why? I'm like, I don't want to go to that studio for an hour and sell 310 books. I can go do a fucking podcast with somebody in my underpants and sell 10,000. Wow. The fuck am I going to the studio an hour before we go on air?
Yeah.
Drinking shit coffee.
Shit coffee's okay sometimes.
I do like shit coffee.
Like, come
Big
on,
shout out to shit coffee.
Shit coffee.
Yeah.